Hi there. Welcome back to Waxing On. It's Friday, and today we're going to revisit country again. I say country, but if you notice with so many of our singer-songwriters, Nancy Griffith, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Lyle Lovett, they classify them as country, and I'm going to say, yeah, Lyle maybe is a little more country, but they all have a very unique style. They've developed their own way of writing, their own way of performing, and it really can't be pigeonholed into one thing. When I think of country, I think of something totally different. And that's the same way with today's artist. Now, because of her family connection, yeah, everybody's going to say country for sure. And we're talking about Johnny Cash's daughter, Roseanne Cash. I've got a couple of CDs of Roseanne's. Now, I don't really remember where I first became aware of her. Usually I would say with this, it would probably be PBS, something like Austin City Limits. But at one time we had a connection to what was called the Nashville Network. And it could have been on there that I first heard her. And I was really caught with the style of her performing and the songs she was choosing and just her overall singing. So I bought a couple of albums. One of the first ones I had was Somewhere in the Stars. Now, just to give you some idea, I'm talking about, it's not your usual run-of-the-mill country. When you look at Rodney Crowell producing, okay, Rodney Crowell doing some of the writing in here, as well as Roseanne Cash doing some of the writing. But we also have some others. We got John Hyatt contributing a couple of tunes. Now, John Hyatt's another one that's kind of hard to classify. We talked about him, quite a while ago on the show. And again, it's really not folk, it's not country. John's got a style all his own. And she's taken a couple of his tunes and done a really good job with them. We've got one here that I always enjoyed, one called Third Rate Romance, Low Rent Rendezvous. Again, not what I would consider a country tune, but she does it well. Guests on here. We've got Vince Gill, we got Ricky Skaggs, we got a lot of country-ish people in there contributing, and on both of her albums, she has a lot of great musicians jumping on board. Just to give you some idea what the other songs we have on here, we got Ain't No Money, Down on Love, I Wonder, and I Wonder makes it to the next album we're going to talk about as well. Yes I Can, Looking for a Corner, It Hasn't Happened Yet, That's How I Got to Memphis, Third Rate Romance, I Look for Love, and Somewhere in the Stars. And again, Somewhere in the Stars written by Roseanne, but didn't really feel the same country feel. And I noticed when I was listening to the next album, the Greatest Hits album, it's not a traditional country sound. The actual background, the whole sound of the band is very different. And that's what makes it worth checking out. It's just, something worth looking at. We don't want to just pigeonhole her into the Cash mold because she's doing something quite different. And one of my favorites, and this is the next one I bought, and of course I always recommend either live or greatest hits if you haven't listened to a lot of music by these people to give you a good idea. This was Roseanne Greatest Hits, and it's I think 79 to 89, and one of the other tunes, I Wonder, is on there. But I mean, we got quite a few tunes here. Let's just take a look. 7-Year Ache, well, that's one written by Roseanne Cash. I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. Hey, it's the Beatles, man. Lennon and McCartney there. Hold On by Roseanne Cash. We got Roseanne Cash again with Blue Moon and a Heartache. Memories, Hanging Round. Rodney Crowell wrote it. Rodney and Roseanne wrote I Don't Know Why You Don't Want Me. We've got I Wonder, written by Leroy Preston. Never Be You, Benmont Tench and Tom Petty. Now there we got Tom Petty in there as well. Benmont Tench is also guesting on the album. Contributes some music there too. We got another one by John Hyatt, The Way We Make a Broken Heart. We got Johnny Cash, so we're going to throw a Cash tune in there, Tennessee Flat Top Box. And the last one, another Preston Smith, and it's Black and White. Now for guests on here, she's got some that really struck me as odd, but the same usual ones. We got Ricky Skaggs, we got Randy Scruggs, we've got Vince Gill in there. She's also got Waddy Wachell. Now, some of you may be familiar with him. He's more of a West Coast studio player. I think of him with people like Linda Ronstadt and that Southern California rock sound, in the 70s and that. But he's also contributing on here. So, I mean, she's got lots of guests. If I look at it, I don't know if I can show you this. That's the name of, or the list of contributing players. There's just too many to mention. But some of them, like Skaggs and Vince Gill, stick out. Again, nice booklets. We got in the first one, somewhere in the stars, we've got all the lyrics, plus we've got the details about performers. This one with the greatest hits, not so much with lyrics. List of who performed, some pictures, some interesting material to take a look at. And we got the details in the back, and of course, a few pictures to go along. And again, this is always my thing. You buy the hard copy, you get some extras. Now, that being said, I did break down and buy a digital download. And this was a song she did a few years ago, before the, I think before the pandemic. Sorry. And it was a song she wrote for Discover America Tourism, a song called Land of Dreams. And she did it with Los Lobos, and it was just an excellent tune. Again, couldn't be further away from country. Very catchy. She did a great job performing it. And like I said, I went out and downloaded the tune. That's one of the first times I've bought a single, or what I would call a single, in a long time. But just a great song. If you haven't heard it yet, take a look at it. It's on the streaming networks. Take a look at the YouTube, because you might actually see the whole commercial, which kind of also brings it home. But a lot of great music. If you haven't checked her out before, take a moment and do it. I mean, we've got the weekend coming up, a chance to explore some new music. It's not country music like you might think of country music. And again, when I mention that, I think of the old-timey Porter Wagoner style of country music. I really don't have a lot of knowledge of the new country music. I've got knowledge of these people in between that are classified as country, but I classify them more as singer-songwriters. Their own style, their own way of doing things, and they're not really pigeonholed into a brand like that. So that's it for today. Some music from Rosanne Cash. Available on streaming networks. I mean, hard copy's still available. Take a look on YouTube. Watch some performances. We got live performances and music videos. And always, remember, you can check out their webpage for concert dates. She's still out touring. And merchandise that you can pick up and maybe purchase these albums. Okay, everybody have a great weekend. Take care. Stay safe. We'll see you here on Monday.